So I am here in the chapel of my church here at the Mount Oliver Baptist Church, and I wanted to do a video review on the book eVangelism, creating and implementing a social media ministry for outreach. Dr. Martin Luther Quick, who I believe wrote this book at a very pivotal. I'm trying to say he wrote it at a time that we needed it. That's how I really want to go about it. He wrote it at a time where we were facing a pandemic. We were in the middle of it, and we were at the point where we were trying to figure out how are we going to be able to still evangelize and not be able to see the people in person, not be able to see them face to face, talking to them. Being able to reach out. Yes, we've done by phone before. Yes, we've sent out emails before. But how do we take it up another notch? In 2006, I was a junior in high school, and I never would have imagined that me creating a Facebook account in 2006 would lead to what it's doing today. Me being able to have MySpace, being able to have a Twitter account, being able to have those profiles, Periscope, all of those different social media platforms that we were just playing around with back then, that 15 to almost 20 years later, it would be something vital to be used for today. Dr. Quick says in this book that the purpose of social media is not only to communicate with others, but it gives an effective tool for ministry. And he gives those effective tools that's needed, that it promotes sharing, for letting people know about information in regards to your ministry. It helps increase your presence, having conversations, creating an identity, renewing and developing relationships, creating groups, small groups within each other, and also developing a reputation. Because what you put out there, it shows your reputation and what you're about and what you have to give to it. So I think that's a vital piece that's with it. I think how he let us know what tools. We have so many options that we can choose from to do social media with Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can find a job through LinkedIn. Some you could put up your resume of what you want to do, what you do in ministry, or what you do on a professional level, and someone can go on there and just search for something and be able to pop up, and it's your information. You can be able to use Pinterest to show different ideas of how to do marketing or how to do evangelism. And then you also have Snapchat. You got Snapchat, you have YouTube, those are video platforms. And then my daughter's favorite, the ultimate favorite of all, is TikTok. So TikTok is being able to have a way for you to be able to communicate with just making little minute video clips, which are now called Reels, to be able to show promotions or show any type of hilarious videos that's with it. So I think those are with it. And then what I also liked is that he kind of gave the statistics of it. I didn't know that, out of 100% of people, 49% is men that are on social media and 51% are women. And an average time frame that people are on social media or on that particular app is within 35 to 59 minutes. So from 30 minutes to an hour, someone is scrolling constantly, and you're scrolling so much that you don't even know the time is flying or time is going by for you to even know you've been on social media that long. So I think him learning the statistics of that, and then also knowing different ways of how you can do it. You're marketing yourself. Churches today have to present themselves as a market, present themselves as a business, showing what can they have to offer that can be able to attract someone to watch them or attract someone to be a part of their ministry. Because whether we know it or not, you can be able to have an online ministry and it's more powerful and captivating and eye-seeking and attention and getting attention more than someone who may be having a congregation and trying to reach the people within their community. I think the digital community, and by me being a digital pastor here at Mount Olivet, by the digital community, how far you can reach out. Even you investing in your ministry, pushing, promoting. In the Facebook land, it's sponsoring posts. In Instagram, it's boosting posts. You putting it on multiple platforms. There's churches that put things on LinkedIn as advertisements. There's people that put YouTube as an advertisement. There's many ways of doing it. And when you market it, you have to show to them what is so good about your ministry that I'm in Texas and it's something that I'm not having in Texas that I want to feel every week when I watch virtually through online in Columbus, Ohio. What am I being able to show to these people who are outside of the walls of the church of how we can be able to reach out to them, touch with them, make them feel personable while they're watching and being in the presence as if they're in the room. If we do that to let them know they're in the room and they are around, it kind of softens it up better. And then I think what makes it more engaging is that when you're actually communicating with them. So not only are they watching, but they are getting responses, people reaching out. Hey, thanks for reaching out to us. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for being there and showing what all you can do to let them know how they are appreciated, that they are needed and everything like that. Now, March the 17th, we always know that it's St. Patrick's Day. But that day, March the 17th, was Black Sunday. And that was the day where everything had to shut down in the world, pretty much in the world. It started overseas and then it got into the United States. So the national pandemic here started on March the 17th, 2020, and lives changed forever. But there was one DJ, and there's a part in the book here with DJ Nice, how DJ Nice, D-Nice, he was able to sit there and engage with people. He was already a popular DJ. He was the celebrity DJ. He was the one that was at all of the events. And DJ Nice said, I want to do something that I can get back into the community. I can reach out to people. So DJ Nice did one of the best creative ideas ever, and that was going live and having an actual party, a virtual party online to let somebody know about the different genres of music. And then it got even a little deeper. Swiss Beats went in and created a company called Versus. And when he created the company called Versus, he decided in the African American community, let's show the battles between old school and new school, or even some old school people battling against each other. So you had the Earth, Wind, and Fire against the Isley Brothers. You had Patti LaBelle against Gladys Knight. You had SWV against En Vogue. It's those type of things that they were doing to captivate it, and people were engaging. It was already that you had a small setting that you had to be in, so you would gather around at your house, have a little party, but you're watching it on the screen. And not only did it do it for the people, for the younger generation, but it also showed how we can bridge the gap, because we had baby boomers, then we had Gen Z, then we have the millennial groups. So all of those people blended together and bridged the gap because they had to be in the same area with each other. They had to be in the same proximity of each other. So the best thing about it that DJ Nice talks about it, he talks about the hermeneutics of now. And the hermeneutics of now is explaining, the word hermeneutic means it's an interpretation of the Bible or any facts that present. So he explains about the hermeneutic of the crisis that we were in, the hermeneutics of COVID. And he gave 7 lessons that he learned about it when responding to giving a hermeneutic approach to a crisis. He says, first, you got to pray for the opportunity to share the gospel. You got to pray that when you share the gospel, that you're letting people know about the ministry, the call, the purpose, and the assignment that God has in store for you. But you discover ways to love your neighbor. Because we're used to being able that you didn't even have to speak to anybody, and you can live next door for years and not know who your neighbor is. You can walk down the street and see somebody and not know that they go to the same church that you go to. So it's those ways of finding a way to love your neighbor, showing forgiveness, showing compassion in everything. But when you do it, when you're evangelizing, when you're doing ministry outside, you got to be creative outside of the box. Because when you're creative outside of the box, you have to let them know that you want their attention. You want to see them. You want them to be able to participate in what you have to offer in your ministry. But care for the vulnerable. You got to be very sensitive to many things that happen with people. But be inclusive. Be inclusive in everything that you do. Use your God-given gifts in the midst of a crisis. If you have a gift, a talent, a treasure that you want to show or present for your ministry, use that in the midst of a crisis. Because when we went through this pandemic, a lot of churches had to force themselves into technology. They had to force themselves into being able to have cameras and live stream and internet, because churches didn't have internet. And even if they did have internet, they had to increase their internet because now they had to create a virtual audience. But the last thing is whenever you have a hermeneutic in the midst of a crisis, you need to protect your peace and have self-care. So when you protect your peace, you got to guard your heart, you got to guard your mind, and take care of yourself. I know you're worried about others. I know you want to be there for everyone else, but you also have to take care of you. And that's what I learned within myself in the midst of this process, in the midst of reading this book, that there's some things I got to take care of for myself. I have to do within myself to improve myself, to better myself, to take others into consideration, to be able to engage with everyone and make everybody feel included in what I'm doing for the purpose of my ministry. Yes, I'm thinking about the ministry ahead, but what can I do about the people who were in the past or the people who know about back in the day that I can be able to bring them together, bring them to come up closer and be effective in ministry. So again, this is about the book Evangelism by Dr. Martin Luther Quick, and it is creating and implementing a social media ministry outreach. And that's all I have.